Alright, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen of League Zero, and welcome to the fourth week of games for Advanced Division. Today we got an interesting game. Nonetheless, we got Hangzhou Bark versus Easy Clap. You'll notice I have the little overlay on the recording this time around. Will be a little bit more fancy than I have had the recordings in the past, but not quite as fancy as the stream setup. Anyways, we're going to do the coin flip right now. There may be the other caster, the actual shoutcaster, Commander Hui, or Hoy, however you pronounce his name. He might be coming in later. His house lost power, unfortunately. So for the time being, I'm just going to be solo casting. So we're doing the coin flip right now. Hangzhou heads, Easy Clap tails. And heads. So Hangzhou will have map pick between Lijiang and Busan. Probably going to be Lijiang. You're going to see a lot of promotion of Yusuf's TikTok because I cannot hide the chat. And see, I'm trying to keep an eye out for an actual Lijiang. Okay. The match chat is going to be filled with banter. The spectate blue melon. Melon just needs to change his profile picture. Colby in here as well. Alright, and we're just gonna wait on Melon. There we go. Okay, and we are all set to go. So we're going to hop into Lijiang Tower. And this is going to be quite an interesting match. In particular, the DPS duos for both of these teams is rather impressive, to say the least. Obviously, Easy Clap is the heavy favorites to win this match, just because they're Easy Clap. They're basically smurfing. In the meantime, Term and Kaiko did look rather impressive in their game against, who did they play last week? Guangzhou? Yeah, then again it is Guangzhou. I believe they're winless, or no, they have one win because Newt forfeited. But they have looked rather weak for the most part, so it's hard to say exactly how strong the DPS duo actually is. I tend to doubt we're going to be seeing that lineup come out from Hangzhou, but in the meantime, I wouldn't be shocked to see the McCree Tracer come out. Easy Clap does not like to run Mei. The only time they've been forced on meta from what I've seen is Hanamura. Yeah, because they refused to play meta against Flush. However, both teams refused to play meta. In the meantime, both teams are going up onto the high ground here, taking an early poke war. Easy Clap taking their route to the stairs, trying to get an easy section onto the point, and Term gets taken out almost immediately on the Junkrat, actually. Weird pick. Wannabe just running amok in their backline. Greed gets pinned up. A huge anti coming in from Cal, and that's probably going to be the fight cleaned up. They are, well, Avoid is finally back onto the point. So they will actually capture, just poking out a spawn, showing their dominance against HCB. In the meantime, you do have Kaiko here in the Mei. Easy Clap does not have the Mei, so they can't section off the attackers. Big anti coming in from Vermilion, but Term does get taken out by Wannabe yet again. Early pulse bomb, but it doesn't quite find a greed. However, Rest of Easy Clap will run after him and finish him off. Late nano coming on to Yusuf. Not sure how much value they got out of it, but it was certainly a display of dominance. They're going to touch the spawn doors now. Oh, but Wannabe and Cal to pay the price, as well as Falcon's mech. Yusuf gets taken out by Term. Actually, I believe Term took out all of the Easy Clap attackers that touched the spawn door there. Rather quick turnaround from Hangzhou. A good 49% onto the point for Easy Clap. Easy Clap throwing in an early bomb from Falcon. Will not. Oh, he will actually find Vermilion and YOLO God's mech. Agreed tries to shatter Koodle, but I guess he wraithed out of that. YOLO God will take out Koodle in the meantime with just his baby form. Late beat coming out from Jetpack. If it seems like they want to hold on to this point, Wannabe running off against Gaigo. Falcon will get D-Max, but Agreed is slept and finished off. YOLO God is really the only one left on point. Vermilion towards the backline, trying to heal him up as much as possible, but it's for naught as Wannabe runs after Vermilion and is now running towards the backline. No, he's letting them run through the main section here. Term is fighting Wannabe, but it looks like Term will lose that. Koodle gets a huge Death Blossom. In the meantime, Nano Death Blossom nonetheless, and that's the team kill coming out from Easy Clap. Rather decisive team fight there. Wannabe spawn camping a little bit. Oh no. Beautiful early pick onto Vermilion, and that's gonna stall them for that much longer. And that's really potentially all she wrote. Oh, and with Kaigo falling with one fight territory, that might be all they can do. Koodle getting very aggressive against the creep, but he does get punished by Term. You do have Yusuf and Wannabe punishing Term for daring to fight against them. Kaigo is looking to punish Yusuf in the meantime, but it's not certain if they'll be able to punish him that much. Agreed does get nanoed, but not everyone's on point here. It's kind of lackadaisical. A bunch of sectioned off fights. They are trying to take out Cal, and they actually manage. Oh, please do not C9. It's Hangzhou almost gets off the point. Easy Clap is on to. I'm gonna have to pause here, unfortunately. Just want to make sure that Melon is. Unfortunately, I cannot hide chat. Koodle. Alright. Wanted to make sure that happened between team fights. That wouldn't necessarily be fair to anyone. Easy Clap is very ready. Unfortunately, this is the downside to having to host while recording, is that I can't hide chat, because if a pause needs to be made, then I would not be able to see that. Anyways, Hangzhou is ready, so we're gonna continue that on. I'm guessing by the second map, Melon is just going to be kicked from the lobby, and he's gonna have to deal with it. Oh, early pick there onto Falcon by Kaigo, and Koodle will fall soon after. Yusuf is antied, however, a 3-man anti coming in from Cal. Agreed is also slept, but there are quite a few ultimates online for Hangzhou, and they are in a good position to hold this for at least a little bit longer. Not sure about that Shatter. Agreed, kind of a weird angle and didn't manage to find anything. Early nano coming in to Yusuf, Blizzard coming into Kaigo, but the Blizzard actually saves him from that charge. You do have, looks like Wannabe on the point here, and a Void will run backwards to help him out. He does manage to take out Jetpack, but Term does take out a Void and I believe Koodle as well. So Hangzhou is still in favor here. Term turning the tide of this fight, and they are now getting close to one fight territory for Hangzhou, and that's a rather good position to be in. High Noon coming in from Koodle. I'm not sure if he'll be able to find anything large. Anti-Nade coming in on both tanks. Return High Noon coming in for Term. Poodle didn't find anything with his High Noon. It looks like Term won't either, but he will find Cal! Yusuf left the shield behind. Oh, Wannabe whiffs the Pulse Bomb there, doesn't find anything. And Term actually finishing them off. Kaigo freezing up and killing a Void. Falcon tosses in the bomb, but he will not find anything. And it looks like Hangzhou will be taking this first round. Sure enough. Rather impressive display. I think Easy Clap is going to have to try a little bit harder than full-on meme mode like they have with some of their previous opponents. Or maybe they're just going to meme the entire time. Now, this map in particular, we can see some Symmetra, possibly. Yep, Koodle is already swapping over to that sim. So we will have to see if Hangzhou decides. Yep, looks like Term will be swapping over to it as well. It's such a good and simple strategy, especially if you can take the point first. Kaigo on the Torb. Okay, yeah, he will swap over to the Mei. I was gonna say, as much as I'd love to see it, this is not the opponent to meme against, because once Easy Clap turns it on, that might be it. In the meantime, let's get a perspective from Koodle here. For the Symmetra, it looks like Easy Clap is a little bit faster to the point. I'm not sure if Hangzhou is even going to teleport to the point or what they're doing with their teleporter. No, it looks like they're just going up main. They might have screwed up the teleporter there. It does look like Wannabe is flanking around the backside, but he does actually find Term. That is a huge amount of damage gone. Koodle's turrets putting in the work, finding 2 kills right off the bat and 2 crucial picks nonetheless, and that is the point for Easy Clap. I believe YOLO God got out with his life looking at his health pool, and yeah, sure enough, Term will swap back over to the McCree. Pretty standard play here coming out. Yusuf saying they made this on fun, meaning that is Easy Clap speak for you guys are actually good enough that we can't meme 24/7. Unfortunately, this is not Goats Only or Guangzhou. I believe both of those teams are facing against each other on stream. No, I think they're being recorded. I think Newt versus Flock is being streamed. Term finding Wannabe in the meantime. He's been actually holding his own against some of these upper tier DPS. However, Jepic does get taken out, and losing that Lucio is absolutely crucial. Agreed will get nanoed and charged fully into the backline. He finds Falcon with a shatter, and he will kill Cal, but in the meantime, it looks like Hangzhou is on the losing end of this fight. They're going to have to back out here. Jepic does return briefly, but yeah, looks like he's going to get stunned and staggered even further. Wannabe lighting up the kill feed in his own regard. Poking a bit more, coming up on his own High Noon, whereas Term is just rounding about 3/4 of the way to that. I wonder if he's going to try a flank High Noon. I feel like that would probably be a bad idea. At least wait until they push in a little bit further like he is. And yeah, he's going to let him go through choke point. What are you doing? Okay, he just went for like a 4-man flashbang. Does put in a lot of damage against Vermilion in particular, who's still rather low. Agreed also extremely low. Falcon tossing in the supercharger, forcing Hangzhou to back out. Agreed just gets melted. YOLO God gets taken out of his mech. Kaigo and the works will all just fall. Vermilion does get a final second sleep onto Yusuf. A really late High Noon from Wannabe. Okay, that one was not me, so... Yep, okay. Well, we have a DC. So... Let's open up the timer. They have 5 minutes. They are rather happy that they don't have to deal with the Mei player for at least a little while. Granted, it's during the pause period, so what can you say? They have about 4 minutes and 45 seconds at this point. Oh, he is back, so let's stop the clock. That was only about 30 seconds. Want to make sure the teams are ready. Okay, Easy Clap, surprisingly enough, is ready. Or unsurprisingly, rather. Okay, HCB is R. So we're going to hop right back into it. HCB really only lost about 30 seconds of their pause time there. Not the worst thing in the world, although they did miss out on whatever Blizzard charge Kaigo had. I don't believe he had used it recently. Yeah, sure enough, he swaps over to the Tracer. Oh, agreed, that was a bit too aggressive, and he will get taken out for that. Someone is backcapping. It looks like Jepic is actually back there, but he is going to have to deal with, yeah, looks like Koodle. And actually, yeah, 3 of them peeled back, trying to 1v1 avoid there. I'm not sure how well that'll work, being one of the better main supports in this league. However, Kaigo on the Tracer is taking out 2 by himself. That is a rather good position to be in. Oh, Jepic, that was playing with death right there, but he does get the better. Not sure about that beat, because it was effectively a solo beat. I don't think he caught Kaigo's Tracer with that turn. Swaps over to the Torb. Interesting pick. I guess he felt like he wasn't getting enough value on that McCree, or maybe he just felt like memeing since the round is already into one-fight territory for Easy Clap, and they have a few ultimates coming online. Really just the High Noon, the Supercharger, and they already have the Shatter. Want to be getting incredibly low. Kaigo is dancing with death here. Ooh, nice attempted predict. Huge anti-nade coming out onto the rest of Easy Clap, though. Vermilion finding a good nade right there. YOLOGod tosses in his bomb, and it will find two rather large picks as well. The Orisa and the Baptiste. That's a huge source of protection and healing. Agreed, trying to take out Koodle, and he finally will. So it looks like they will be holding on to this point for at least upper 50s to 60-ish%, and we might be seeing some trash talk or just some mutual respect coming out from Agreed. In the meantime, Koodle seems to like this Symmetra pick. Unsurprisingly, it's a rather satisfying hero. Falcon does swap back over to that. Oh, the fake out onto Agreed. The teleporter, I'm not sure if there was ever an attempt to teleport there. Beautiful pulse bomb coming out from Kaigo. Fight's going back and forth, but with a nanode Agreed, we'll have to see if he can get any value out of it. He does kill Koodle, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, especially with Kaigo Vermilion falling on top of that. Wannabe tosses in the High Noon, but I don't really think that was even necessary. Term trying to come back on the Doomfist, but it doesn't really matter. And sure enough, Easy Clap will tie up the series, or the map 1-1. Seems like now Easy Clap is starting to actually try a little bit. Because, well, the first round was rather close, and Easy Clap was admittedly not trying too hard. This round... this round was a little bit closer. Anyways, coming into Gardens, this is possibly a map for some Pharah play. However, it looks like neither team are interested in that. I wonder if Term will actually try to run out on this Doomfist, especially with Wannabe having played the Tracer and Koodle playing McCree so often. This almost has to be just a quick teleport strat out of point for Term. I can't imagine he'll stick on the Symmetra. I mean, maybe, but it's not quite as viable as it is with Control Center or Night Market. Night Market in particular. Oh, I guess he will be sticking on the Symmetra. However, Jetpack gets antsied and just melted by Yusuf. Beautiful dive coming in from Easy Clap, bringing it all the way back to 2018. Kaigo gets melted by Falcon. However, Falcon himself is getting rather low, or was, I should say, was getting melted by Term, but he manages to take out the Symmetra of his own regard. YOLOGod not allowed to touch the ground before being taken out, and Term does eventually swap back over to the McCree. Jetpack on the Brig and Vermilion on the Moira. Interesting support duo here. Probably not going to find as much value as the anti-nades for the Ana, but then again, it's hard to say. Wannabe is flanking around the back here. He is coming up on his pulse bomb rather quick. Looks like he's trying to build it up, fighting down the tanks. In the meantime, you have the team trying to break down Yusuf and Falcon, and they are frozen out, but Yusuf is nanoed, rather. Koodle pops out a High Noon, and he will not find anything for it, especially with most of Hangzhou dead by the time he even popped it, so probably a bit of a waste there with the ultimate. Wannabe does toss in the pulse bomb as well. Interesting positioning coming out from Yusuf. He will get chunked down a little bit by Term, but that doesn't seem to matter too much. He just jumps right back out. Vermilion getting low again. YOLOGod anti briefly. Wannabe over to the Junkrat now. Interesting pick, especially since they know that Hangzhou has been playing in this white room quite a lot. A lot of members of Hangzhou are antied and chunked down. However, Kaigo will just barely survive that. YOLOGod is still rather low, however, he's about half health. Agreed has the Shatter. Oh, Void pops the beat just prior to the Shatter coming out, and he does not get Ajaxed. We do have a Battle of the McCrees coming on the side here, however, Koodle does come out on top. Term not quite able to get out of that Falcon, incredibly low, but he will not get demeched. And Hangzhou is just kind of awkwardly stalling here. YOLOGod does throw out the bomb, but it's more of a remech bomb. And a questionable one at that, as there's not really much he could have done in that position. Vermilion already has another Coalescence, and he does take out... Oh, he does take out a Void, but it's for naught, as Falcon's Bum takes out him and Kygo, and just like that, Easy Clap takes the first map. So we'll get a view here of the play of the game. Yep, Wannabe's thinking what I'm thinking. What in the world was going on with that Brig Moira comp? Rather interesting, unorthodox to say the least. Falcon getting play of the game on a Orisa here. That must have been when Kygo was AFK. He wasn't really doing anything. Yeah, sure enough. Not sure what that Inun was. Vermilion popping out an insane amount of healing. Falcon has a ridiculous kill participation on his own rights. 2/3. Anyways, we're going to go back to the lobby. There we go. All right. And let's change the recording setup. Let's see. So we got... Easy Clap as 1. What in the world is happening with that letter? Number. Whatever. Close enough to a 1. Anyways, okay, well, Easy Clap wants to stay on attack, thankfully. They are ready. We are still waiting on a map pick from Hangzhou. Anubis. Oh, right. So we are gonna hop over to Egypt for the next one. Easy Clap has already stated they're ready, so no need to ask them yet again. Okay, and they are back to ready, so we're gonna hop straight into it. Interesting that Easy Clap wants to deal with offense first, because theoretically that will force them to have the longer map. Maybe they want to drag this out, although I believe some of Easy Clap said they have scrims, so can't drag out too long. Or maybe they're just confident enough that they can take a quick 2 points and then first hold. Either way, it will be longer than if they had defended first. Will be interesting to see what Hangzhou decides to run here on defense. Looks like a Brig Ana. A little bit more standard. Definitely worth trying, since the enemy DPS are causing so much trouble, especially Wannabe in the backline. Interesting. Okay, Term's actually running out on this Torb pick. Kygo still on that Mei. He's been doing pretty good on the Mei, in all honesty. Looks like we're gonna have some Cyber Dive coming out from Easy Clap on the attacking side. Probably see a Nano Blade within the next 2 fights, give or take. I know Yusuf in particular loves to play Winston, so I'm sure he's happy about this. Poodle somehow does manage to avoid detection there by YOLO God. The dive does come in, but they immediately have to drop down. And it looks like the defenders are also dropping down, although they're immediately backing out, so I'm not sure what they were thinking there with the drop down, although they are able to melt out Yusuf almost immediately. Term's turret does get taken out by a Void, but I mean that's a reasonable loss. Falcon is up here on the high ground with Kudel poking from behind, probably just waiting for Yusuf to return with that dive. And it does look like Term's turret is back online as well, just poking down Falcon. However, a Void yet again will take it down. Looks like they will have to wait. Oh, the dive is a little bit off kilter here. However, Jetpack is taken out, so Falcon does get some value out of not diving directly with Yusuf, despite the fact that Yusuf died. So I mean, like, It's not too much value because it's going to be awkward for EasyClap to take the point, especially with Hangzhou having a huge man advantage for the time being. Agreed, just shielding the point, avoid, just dancing around. Yusuf and Wannabe will jump in with the Winston and Genji respectively. And pretty much melt the rest of the defense. Looks like Kaigo and Term are going to stick on these DPS picks, although the Mei isn't particularly unorthodox in this case. They are still coming up on the EMP Nanoblade. Okay, and they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Some BM comes out in the chat. Term and Yusuf are having a staring contest briefly. Not quite sure what's going on there, but they are going to have to wait just a little bit longer for the Nano and the EMP to come online. Wannabe has been sitting on that blade for probably the last 30 seconds. Agreed, gets antied. Trying to Fire Strike Koodle out of invisibility. Here comes the EMP Nanoblade. Doesn't look like too many are caught in the EMP, but Agreed kind of whiffs his Shatter. So the defense kind of lost their chance at stopping that. YOLO God tries to defend on the Baby Diva, but unfortunately will fall. Jepic is back on the Lucio, but not for long, as a Void out-reddits him, and EasyClap will take it with 4.5 minutes to spare. I mean, that's about as fast as you can hope for, to be honest. If you have never seen EasyClap in chats before, you can now understand so much about who they are as players. In the meantime, I'm probably expecting possibly Dive, to be honest, coming out from the defense. They seem to enjoy playing it on this map. I have seen them attempt Dive on defense before, but we'll have to wait and see to understand what their strategy could possibly be at this juncture. Of course, they're just moving around right now, for the most part. There's been not too much value coming out of Hangzhou in particular. In terms of their ultimates, Agreed not getting too much out of his Shatters. I don't really think either DPS on Hangzhou get a chance to really use their ults last time around. Interesting. We do have a slight bunker coming out from EasyClap. Poodle on that Ashe, a rather niche pick, really only chosen with this kind of composition on this kind of map. Avoid actually manages to get up on this high ground here, rather impressive. Looks like he wants to get up onto this high ground as well. Not quite gonna happen this time, buddy. But looks like we will have not a cyber dive, but just a standard dive coming in from Hangzhou for the time being anyways. Wannabe is just chilling, waiting for them to... Oh no, we will have cyber dive. Okay, Kaigo swapped off the Tracer briefly. Did they seriously not notice him? There is no way. They don't notice it. Agreed to just taking a lot of poke damage. He messes up his jump and gets slept for it. Vermilion is taken out by Wannabe in the backline, and this dive was just forsaken from the word go. Rather aggressive charge coming in from Yusuf, but I don't think there's enough people here to punish him. YOLO God is really the only one there. I don't think he would win that with Cal just pumping heals into him left and right. I am shocked that no one saw Wannabe there. That was actually kind of hilarious. I don't know what else to say. The dive is coming in, but it is off-put briefly. Agreed is melted. Jepic and Term are antied. However, no one has died yet, and as I say that, Caster's Curse. Sorry, Jepic and Term. Wannabe is taken out by Agreed, and Agreed is nanoed, pumping in that little bit of extra damage, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take anyone else out. Agreed was just sitting there, antied and nanoed on like 3 health, so Hangzhou will have to back out now. YOLO God, the last one to get out alive. Term caught in a trap, it looks like, but since he does have the deflect online, he will be able to survive. Yusuf throwing a risky Shatter in their early EMP. They didn't quite have the Nano Blade ready yet, so I'm not quite sure about that one. But they are getting some kills. However, Yusuf is now nanoed and collapsing on Vermilion, but he will get taken out by YOLO God and Jepic collapsing in on him, and it looks like Hangzhou will actually successfully take out this dive. Koodle and Wannabe do attempt to recontest, but it is for naught, as Hangzhou was just too together. Not the fastest time in the world, but not terrible either. You know, I mean, they do still have the Nanoblade coming online. They're going to have a bomb soon. They're going to have Beat. They're not going to have the EMP, but that's not absolutely necessary, although it will help get value out of the Blade, because it is such a difficult ultimate to deal with. Yusuf does swap over to the Winston, and he will force Term out of the battlefield, as it were. Jepik and Agreed fall to Kudl's McCree, and that's pretty much all she wrote for that fight. It looks like, aside from... Actually, I don't know if YOLO got tossed in the bomb or not. Hopefully not. Oh, a huge late pick on to Kaigo. And Wannabe is looking for the cheekiest of tires. What? I mean... Ugh. I don't even know anymore. Wannabe can just get away with whatever, apparently. Because he is now John Cena, because you can't see him. Or at the very least, Hangzhou can't. They need some new glasses. They have been sitting on this Nanoblade for so long that Kaigo is just about ready to build up yet another EMP. Not quite sure what Kaigo's doing back here. He's not going to be able to assassinate really anyone. He does manage to get the hack off onto Falcon, but, I mean, a hacked Nanoed Hog is still rather dangerous. Agreed does take out Cal. It's a good start, but they need to start pushing in. They still have Defender's advantage here. Oh, Vermilion gets taken out as well, so rip the Nanoblade dreams, as it were. Yusuf tosses in the Primal Rage. Kudl is high nooning, and I'm not really sure there's much else. Really late EMP there. Bit too late for the time being, and once again, they have been holding on to this Nanoblade for what feels like an eternity. Wannabe does get slept by Vermilion, but I mean, he's protected by the entirety of his team. He is in the backline, and he probably will get taken out. Yeah, he slept and just melted. Yusuf is collapsing onto Kaigo, but I mean, it's just him. He's antied, and he will die. However, they're attacking so far forward in the attacker's spawn that, I mean, they're going to be back by the time Hangzhou even gets back to the point. Yes, they're getting kills along the way because it is a 6v4-ish now, but I mean, it's still very awkward. Wannabe's already back and putting a lot of damage against YOLO God and Kaigo. Yusuf is already back yet again. Finally, we see the Nanoblade. If we're going to see any value come out of it, I'm not entirely sure. He does find a Void, and he might be able to take out Kudl. No, he will get the better of him just as the Nano will fall off. Wannabe is getting incredibly low. Attempted to be punished by YOLO God, but that didn't quite work out. Kaigo is just kind of haunting Cal in the backline, but it doesn't look like he's going to dare. Not entirely sure what Cal is trying to aim at, but now we have the entirety of Easy Clap collapsing back on point, ready to protect their Ana. Not like it really mattered. Kaigo didn't come out of invisibility the entire time, just messing with Cal. Early bomb coming in from YOLO God, not sure if it'll find anyone. Sure enough, it won't. Void is antied, however, and taken out by Jepik, but Jepik is punished for being so aggressive. Right at Lucioing. Yusuf does pop the Primal Rage yet again. Falcon is hacked, but it doesn't really matter. Term gets a hammer kill onto Cal. Way to go, Term. He actually still is in the backline. Not, what? I didn't even realize he was there. Okay, now they do. Falcon just looks at him asking, "What are you doing?" And, that was pretty much the end of that conversation, as Term is sent promptly back to the spawn. Yusuf and Kudl are back into Hangzhou's spawn. High Noon coming out for good measure. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't think the teams know what's going on anymore, but Easy Clap is sure as hell having fun. Vermilion is antied and just melted. Cal is punished for taking out the Ana, however, that is still going to work more on the side of Easy Clap. Wannabe is getting sectioned off. However, he does have his ultimate. Doesn't look like he really feels the need to use it, however, because Yusuf does collapse in for him. Now he does finally use his Meteor Strike. I'm not sure where he's going with it. He went to spawn! Okay, that was actually pretty funny. But, What are the odds of that? I mean, that if you're Vermilion, you can't predict that. There's no way you could have ever known. Jepik trying to touch points. It looks like, who is that? YOLO God is able to touch point, but he's going to get a whole hog off the point. And off to meet Team Rocket in the stars. Kaigo attempts to touch point, doesn't quite make it there before he has to translocate out yet again. Agreed, I'm not sure what he was doing in the back line, and sure enough, Easy Clap will take it. Melon will be coming in for Koodle, apparently. Avoid actually will get play of the game. Rather rare that we see a Brig play of the game, although I believe the recent patch messed with the calculations for play of the game. Yeah, nothing extraordinary there in terms of play of the game. Just kind of holding mouse 1. So you can just chalk that up to the patch being weird. In the meantime, I believe it was Koodle, right? Yeah, Koodle. Okay, so we are going to see Melon come in. Okay, HCB gets map pick. Let me just look at what the maps are. What's going on? Anyways, let me take a look at the map pick. We have King's Row or Eichenwald. Okay, Avoid. Oh, Avoid might have to go. He might have been the one saying he had scrims. Is Al going to play DPS? Possibly. I'm not going to question it. Okay, they do have Kings. So we are going to see some King's Row, not too surprising. That's pretty much everyone in Advanced's favorite pick. I don't know if we've ever seen Eichenwald in Advanced. And while they are deciding that, okay, they want to attack. I'm gonna update Easy Clap's score. They are now up 2-0. What in the world is going on? Why is it upside down? I don't understand. Interesting. Oh, I think I might know what it is. Oh, almost. There we go. Stay with me here, folks. I got it. Come on. Not quite. Getting there. Better. Okay. What's now? Okay, Easy Clap is ready. Just want to make sure Hangzhou is ready. I didn't see them. Okay, yeah, they're ready. So we are going to go off to London, which is probably, possibly, the last map of the series. Rather quick series, but then again, I mean, this is exactly what everyone expected, let's be honest. Maybe Hangzhou could pull out a map here, but it's not too expected, not predicted. I think most people expected 3-0, 3-1 being the next best, because I mean, Term and Kaigo looked like a rather impressive DPS duo last week, but it's kind of rough to go up against, you know, Wannabe and Koodle. We do have... Okay, so Cal actually did want to play DPS. Interesting. Wonder if he'll stay on this Widow. Always enjoy seeing some good Widow plays. And he is known for his Ana, at least thus far. So it's very obvious that he's good at aiming, at the very least. Melon on the Moira, that is about as cursed as you can get, folks. In the meantime, we do have an interesting composition coming out from Hangzhou. I believe this is not the first time we've seen this term on the Torbjorn and Kaigo on the Tracer. Kaigo has had some rather impressive plays. Okay, Wannabe swaps over to the Junkrat the last second. Let's see if Cal can do anything with this Widowmaker, because there are definitely some snipeable targets, as it were. And yes, Easy Clap has in fact gone full meme mode, if you were wondering. Kaigo does attempt to put pressure onto Cal, but thus far not really doing too much. Doesn't feel too pressured. He's still taking pot shots with the rest of his team. Does chunk down YOLO God briefly. Looks like Kaigo just said, you know what, forget it. The Widow's not worth it here. He's not doing enough. Nope, never mind. He does actually take out Cal. In the meantime, Melon, let's see what you're doing. He is antied and just chunking in damage. Doesn't look like he's healing at all. Unless there's no one to kill. Then he will briefly. Jepik, unfortunately, gets staggered out last there. I stand corrected. YOLO God gets staggered out last. The Baby Diva always gets the short end of the stick there, as Cal is now over to the Tracer as well, possibly seeing some Tracer duels come in with Kaigo. And he is just harassing Agreed, drawing attention. I'm not sure where that Fire Strike was going, Agreed, but looks like Jepik is now trying to help out Agreed, but he will get punished for that. Not entirely sure what was going on there. Looks like YOLO God will get staggered out, and Term is probably regretting this Torbjorn pick at this time, unless they've just given up on this entire match, which I would not be too shocked about. Kaigo is running amok. Term does finally swap off of the Hangzhou. Are seeing a little bit of a 2v1 here. Kaigo's still surviving, forcing Falcon out of mech and able to use that bomb. However, he does manage to kill Kaigo with that Baby Diva. Kaigo does have his pulse bomb, however, so soon enough you might see some big plays coming out, as Hangzhou has significantly more ultimates than Easy Clap. However, it doesn't really matter thus far in the series. Rather decent shatter coming out from Agreed, especially with the Nano and the Anti. He does almost get a bit over-aggressive there, but it looks like he will survive. Melon is nanoed and pops the Coalescence. However, he is now antied. A little bit too soon there, and he is managing to take out Vermilion and survive in the process. However, Term is getting ever so close to taking him out. Not quite this time around, however. It's not quite to be, as Falcon is just chilling on Baby Diva.
Hello there.
And Easy Clap pretty much takes second point easily. I mean, that was basically one elongated fight. Not really sure what else to call it. Melon frontlining on Moira. Everything you love to see out of a silver. However, this Moira happens to be, you know, just about 4 times higher than that in terms of SR. We do see Jepik actually on the Zen here. I think he's just completely given up because he's supposed to be the main support. I'm not sure how Cal got caught out by that, but we're just going to call it bad positioning and give YOLO God the benefit of the doubt here with that good bomb placement. Easy Clap is kind of sectioned off and antied, but I'm not really seeing too much collapsing in terms of Hangzhou. They're just kind of trying to survive at this moment in time. Jepik gets pinned by Yusuf in the most unfortunate way possible. It looks like he almost got out of it. Another shatter from Agreed. It feels like he just had one. Riptire, nanoed Riptire coming in, but it was kind of for naught, as didn't really get much out of it. Just chunked down Agreed's shield, but that's not really what he was intending. Koodle on the Ana, that's another cursed pick here. I'm not sure what is going on in the backline there, but it doesn't really matter because Kaigo wasn't able to really do much in the meantime. Yeah, you have split decisions here coming out from Hangzhou, saying they want to forfeit and they want to play it out. I'm gonna let them play it out for the time being, unless there is further demand for a forfeit. I mean, you're already losing 3-0. You might as well just finish out the offense. It's just going to be 4 quick minutes at the very worst. Or at the very best, you finish the map. In the meantime, I'm not expecting too much fancy stuff coming out from Easy Clap. They seem to be running not quite meta, but like close to meta, somewhat. We do have what looks like Pharah Mercy and the Widow coming out from Kaigo. Would be interesting to see them actually roll out on this. Especially interesting to see if Cal can duel the Pharah. Well, Kaigo swapped over onto the Genji now. Looks like Easy Clap's just playing some comfort picks and the bare minimum of meta to get them the win. So, basically the usual. Kaigo is on the Genji currently, but we'll have to see if he decides to stay on it, and it looks like he will. Yep, looks like we will have a duel between the Pharah Mercy and the Genji against Cal's Widow. Didn't really manage to get too much value out of it on attack. That's because Kaigo is on the Tracer, just harassing him non-stop. Agreed does get melted, however Yusuf is the one that's antied, so a little bit of role reversal there. And Yolo got his DMAC. Term finds 2, however, and with Cal out, that's most of the threats gone. Oh no, Kaigo gets trapped, and he uses his deflect a bit too early. Wannabe takes him out. In the meantime, we do have Yusuf and Falcon just bullying the rest of Hangzhou, and despite being at least one man up there, they just kind of backed up. They just kind of gave up on that fight. They're lacking the confidence they need. Term getting rather close to his barrage. I'm not sure if he's going to get any value out of it with so many threats to him. However, he did manage to take out Cal's Widow before. Wannabe is slept and nanoed in the backline. Rather large BM coming in. Falcon tosses in the bomb. Not sure how that doesn't find Term, but I mean, hey, roll with it while you can. You have Melon in the backline attempting to put in some damage on Term here, but I'm not sure how much value that'll find. He does manage to take out Koodle. In the meantime, Melon is... looks like he escaped. Yeah, he's trying to duel Kaigo, and Kaigo's probably not going to win that duel. Genji versus Moira usually goes in favor of the Moira there. However, he does manage to get out with his life. Jepik does have the nano. It looks like he's tossing it on to Term, who doesn't really have anything to shoot at the moment. He's just kind of standing in the center of the choke point, having a staring contest with Yusuf, and Cal decides that that was a little bit too much staring for one night. Cal pops his infrared sight. Kaigo pops the blade. Not really sure what he's planning on finding there because Yusuf was the only one who was nearby. He attempts to take out Cal, but I guess Yolo God beats him to that. Bomb coming in from Falcon, and it finds 2. One of them will get healed up. Wannabe gets caught out by the bomb. The bomb was thrown in towards the end of his tire, so he didn't really have an opportunity to get out of there. Kaigo does take out Koodle, but I'm not sure if it'll matter as the defense is still just rolling on in. They're trickling in, and that's really all it takes. Agreed. It's just kind of mentally boomed. Supposedly he was one of the people calling for a forfeit here. Yusuf is showing off his dancing skills, and this is probably the map. I mean, we kind of knew going into this that this was probably the last map. Cal is bragging a little bit, padding his stats, you know, gotta get that kill participation up. Guys, what are you doing? You're feeding. I have gold limbs and damage on Widowmaker. However, Falcon is giving him a run for his money. Yusuf has slept, but not really sure. Yeah, Cal is just kind of memeing at this point. Granted, the rest of the entire lobby is. Everyone's given up. No one's trying anymore. I'd love to see maybe a sniper duel, but that's not going to happen. And that is pretty much 3-0 Easy Clap. Not surprising, but disappointing that Hangzhou couldn't put up more of a fight. Beautiful mid-air sleep onto Kaigo. Rather impressive display there from Koodle. Not really much else to say here, folks. That's kind of it. Looks like Melon wants the interview. Not sure what there is to interview. It looks like Kaigo's actually taken a few shots, not before kind of giving up and running back into spawn. And here comes the spam. And at this point, I think we can reasonably hide chat no longer. Well, we need to see. I think Yusuf has gotten 2 out of the 3 plays of the games. I don't remember. No, it was a Void and then Falcon. Or Falcon then a Void, rather. Where did this come from? No one noticed him. Granted, Hangzhou has had a rather lackluster awareness this entire game, so not too shocking there. I suppose YOLO God is carrying. Come on, guys, I have 4 medals. What are you doing? In the meantime, let's find Melon and drag him in to the casting booth. Let's see, actually, let me update the score for however much longer this goes on. Yep, sure enough. Let's see, we got Melon is where? Melon. Drag him into casting booth 1. Alright, well, Melon, you did it. I don't think anyone was doubting you, but you did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for as much as they were saying you wanted the interview, I thought you'd have more to say. Or be
Well,
more hype.
I think what happened was they tried to outbox us, but they really quickly realized that they can't. And then they resorted to bad habits and they got wild like they did last year, and it didn't work because we picked them apart. I think that's what happened.
Definitely. So, I already know the answer to were you scared of anything coming into this match, because the answer is obviously no.
Um,
Unless you actually were weary about anyone.
no.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. That being said, I mean, you finally get in for one map and you play support, so what was the thought process behind that? Or did you just feel like it was already won at that point, you wanted to play some attack Moira?
Well, because I think we wanted to keep Wannabe in and Koodle in, and so I just went on support so that they could both be in, and then yeah, I could be in too.
Okay. Despite the you and Koodle actually made up the backline, Cal decided to swap
Oh yeah,
over to the
that was
Widow.
at last minute. Yeah, Cal wanted to play DPS.
Well, I mean, it worked. He was padding his stats there for the last couple minutes, just taking pot shots when everyone already gave up. Anyways, yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about that match. It was a pretty clean sweep. So, do you have any final statements before I let you go back to your team?
Um, yeah, like I was saying, like they just tried to outbox us, but they realized that they can't. So like they resorted to bad habits again, and they got wild. But we just picked them apart, so we won.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your team and enjoy the rest of the night. Congratulations one more time. And yeah. Okay. For as much as he talks in Discord, he's rather quiet in voice chat. Kind of off putting sometimes. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed that match. Despite it basically being a meme fest 24/7, hopefully there was something to take out of it. So, I was about to say go check out the other match that's being streamed, but this is being recorded. There is no audience yet. So, peace, not.